never been here before. And the town that I drove through, like a mile down the road to get here, is tiny. Really, really tiny. And I'm honestly kind of surprised that the cemetery for the town is this big. I've never been here, so I kind of want to do a loop around and check things out, kind of see what's going on, see if I can find where some of the older grave sites are that I want to be looking for. I picked the perfect day to come out here, and I'm really excited. God, this place is huge. Like, it expands back too, like pretty far. I did not think I'd be able to find this place because I had to type in GPS coordinates to get here, or at least kind of like estimate my coordinates to where I was going, but I found it, and I'm really proud of myself. That's like the only bad thing with cemeteries is you never know where exactly you're going because they don't have addresses. Usually they're like, oh, along this road at such and such junction. Okay, so that looks like an old one back there. I don't know if I should go straight or this might lead. Wait a minute. Sorry, my keys are rattling. Okay, so back here are all the old ones. This is where I was looking for. This is eerie on this side. Like the first part where I pulled in were all the newer graves that still have like flowers and decorations on them. Back here, I'll show you guys when we get out. It's a little spooky out here. And I don't know if it's like the way that the sun's hitting the pine trees and like casting shadows, but I don't know. I picked a good day to come out, A, because it's sunny. It's not windy, and we're gonna be listening to see if we can hear children. And that is because of the legend out here. So I'm gonna drive around. There's a big pile of dirt right here, like a huge amount of dirt. I kinda wanna like drive around and get a good feel for this place first. When I come out to new cemeteries, I like coming during the day just because I wanna know like where I'm going and what's going on. I think I can park right here, like the lane just kind of ended, and if I drive completely straight, I'll head into a field, but I think I can park right here. Okay, so we are just west of Gilboa, Ohio, which is a little town in Putnam County. There is a very old and pretty large cemetery out here, and I just found the older grave sites, which is what I was looking for. Back in 1852, it is said that many people out in this area died of cholera, I believe is how it's pronounced. And a lot of them were children. A lot of people were buried in unmarked graves, and this place is supposedly very haunted. There have been multiple paranormal groups that have come out here, and the conclusion basically is that you can hear children out here crying, you can hear them talking, you can hear them playing. There was recently, I think they like exhumed graves or wherever, where they like reopened the graves, and they found a lot of empty grave sites from ones that were marked, and then other places they found like obviously bodies, because some of these graves were unmarked. There were a lot of people that passed away, sadly, and they just buried a lot of them out here. It's kind of creepy to think that as I'm sitting in my parked car, that there could possibly be like bodies under my car. It is freezing cold out right now. It's 26 degrees. It is sunny out though, and I don't think it's very windy, which is kind of what I wanted because I want to see if I can hear anything out here. They did not say whether or not daytime or nighttime was better. A lot of people just kind of assume nighttime's better to hear things, but I've never been out here before. I wanted to check it out before I just kind of like trekked out here at night and had no idea where I was going or what was going on out here. I'm gonna grab my coffee, get my coat back on, and we're gonna walk around a little bit. I'm gonna see if I can hear anything. We're gonna film out here a little bit. I wanna read some of these old stones out here. It's really pretty, but when I pulled in, it's really easy to find. I was kind of surprised because I had to enter my GPS coordinates to find it. I didn't have an address or anything. So when I pulled in, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like smaller, newer grave sites, like really decorated and colorful. And then I turned and I came back towards the back of the cemetery, and it's all like really old stones, and they're kind of spooky. I don't know if it's just like the vibe out here. Not bad spooky, but old gravestones are kind of like that, kind of spooky. And yeah, so we're gonna get out, we're gonna walk around and kind of see if we can hear anything, see what's going on out here. So let's hope I don't freeze. I am in the southwest corner of the cemetery. Hopefully you can hear me. I guess it is a little bit windy out today, but this is the older part of the cemetery. It's lined up. You can see some fields over here. The first thing I see though when I get out are these burn piles, and there's a cross right on top. And I don't know, there's like, it looks like old jars or old cans of some sort, maybe like beer cans or pop cans or something that people were burning out here. You guys can probably hear my feet crunching because it's a little frosty outside. Must have frosted last night, but oh my god, look how beautiful it is out here today. So I kind of just want to look around a little bit, and I'm gonna stop talking in a little bit and see if we can hear anything. Do keep in mind too, I just noticed there is a flagpole out here, so there's a flag kind of waving. If you guys hear anything that could kind of disturb the audio, that might be it. So keep that in mind. Don't jump and say you hear something, maybe if you don't. That is another big thing with investigating, is when you come out to these new locations that you're not very familiar with, you need to really make sure that you're checking anything that could mess with your audio, anything that could give you like false evidence. Try to debunk it if you can. So that, I can't read some of these. But these are definitely older. You can tell they're more weathered. Kind of want to give you guys an overview from the back. It was really beautiful out here today. That is massive. Also, I apologize if you guys hear me sniffling or slurping on my coffee. I need my coffee this morning, especially because it's cold out, so it's kind of keeping me warm, but keep that in mind too. I'm sorry. So right here, last name is Deck, and it says children of Edgar and Agnes. Unfortunately, those are probably children that might have passed away from the cholera, but I cannot tell whether or not it was around that time frame. It's kind of what I'm looking for. They say cholera hit this area around 1852, so those are kind of the dates I'm looking for if I do see any graves like that. So sadly enough, it always kind of bums me out when I come out here, and obviously these people have passed on, but just seeing some of the gravestones that are older and kind of falling apart, it sucks. There's an infant son right here. These are hard to read just because they're so old and weathered, but that was a bird. I'm not even over to the new part of this cemetery, and there's a lot of grave sites. I just wonder, like, how many of these that I see that are marked, like how many more are unmarked that are in this area. And this is actually the name of the cemetery, Harman Cemetery. It is spelled H-A-R-M-A-N. Sometimes you can see it spelled H-A-R-M-O-N. Just kind of depends. They call it both, so. Keep hearing something knocking. I'm trying to figure out what it is. I don't think there's any houses nearby. What was that? That was my coffee. Oh, I heard like a pounding. There's no one else out here. It almost sounded like a knocking. I don't know if it's like an echo, probably out in the distance. Maybe somebody's doing work outside. So these are dated 1851, which is around the time of the cholera. You can tell these are smaller children. These are all 1851, all of them. I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but it says son of, daughter of. A lot of them are around that time, so. I see a house over in the distance, and I think that's where I hear that knocking echoing from. They must be doing work or something. $18.52. Daughter, wife. Yeah, a lot of these are saying 1851, 1852, around that time frame. That one's old. I can't even read anything on it. This is where I kind of said it looked a little spooky, the sun peering through the trees, but it's really pretty. Is there anybody out here that would like to talk to me? I think the only thing I'm really hearing right now, birds chirping, the flagpole, and then there are these big pine trees, and it's a little windy, so I think I'm getting some noise from that, but I'm freezing. Can't even feel my hand. Is there anyone that would like to make themselves known? Okay, so see on this, like I just said, I showed you guys that other stone that was spelled Harman with an A-N. This one is O-N. I'm not really sure the story, probably just two families that spelled it differently and they've used both, so. Can't feel my hand. Safe to say, I need to learn how to pack gloves. Look how red my fingers are. I'm shaking. My nose is a little red too. Now my glasses are fogging up because my car's getting warm. I don't want to crank my heat up too much. I want you guys to be able to hear me and kind of listen to me if I'm talking. I am going to turn my heated seat on though. Thank God for those. So back here, this like grassy lane that I'm on right now, I think it basically marks like the older spot, because once you get up more, you have like the gravel trail you guys can kind of see right here. And these are all of the newer graves. So I want to do like a wind around and kind of see. I love exploring new cemeteries I've never been to before and just kind of like getting a feel for them. Sorry, the lighting sucks. It's a little sunny out today. So on the left-hand side, we have the newer, and then back on this right-hand side is the older part. Thankfully, this isn't a busy road. There's not a lot of people here, so I don't have to really worry about traffic or anything like that too much. Okay, I probably am going to park and get out and walk again. Off the road real quick, but that is how they spell it out here. And you have like it takes a special kind of person to be able to drive through a cemetery and be like, oh, it's such a good day to be here, like look how nice the sky is. But I know other people feel that way, so that brings me comfort. So here's what I'm thinking. I think this cemetery is absolutely beautiful. I like how it has like the newer side, the older side. Obviously, I like the older side for A, the legend of, you know, hearing the children out here, and B, because I just really appreciate like the older architecture and gives off like a different vibe. I really like it out here. I wish I had equipment so I could properly try to communicate or try to gather evidence. You guys know I am saving up for equipment. I don't have my equipment anymore, which makes me really sad, but at least I got some footage on my phone to show you guys. I did not hear anything out here. There were, like I said, the two other paranormal groups that came out here and had heard children laughing, talking, playing, stuff like that. I did not hear anything. I don't know what time of day they came out. I don't know how long they were out here. I don't know anything like that. I just heard two groups were out here before. I think that next time I come out here, I might bring maybe a ball or like some kind of toy from that time era to maybe see if I could get any evidence like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. It's kind of touchy being out here. Obviously, people have passed on and we are in a cemetery, but children are kind of a different thing. Children are so innocent, and it's really sad that they lost their lives to such a horrible sickness. So it is kind of rough being out here. I do think this is like a really gorgeous cemetery though, and I'm glad I got to come out here. I will definitely be back out here. This is pretty close to my house. I'm talking about a half hour, so close, not close, whatever, but I think it's pretty close to find something this pretty out here and this interesting. I do want to come back out probably when it's a little bit warmer and maybe more towards nightfall to see if we can kind of be out here partially during daytime and then partially at nighttime and see how things change out here and see if we can gather any evidence. But that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys caught anything, heard anything that maybe I didn't catch, leave it down in the comments. Let me know. Find me on Twitter and Instagram at Seeking Chills. Make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be putting out some new videos. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate the support. And I love you guys. See ya. Bye.